Yo, what's up? I'm Kev with Atmosphere FC, and in today's video, I'll be talking a little bit about the current state of soccer in America and my opinion on what needs to change. So yeah, man, as you know, I'm just someone that loves and cares about soccer in America, and I want to see change in our system. I believe that we have the potential, we have the players, we have the resources to be a dominant force in the sport of soccer. But as far as what's holding us back is that we here in America run everything like a business, right? And that's no difference with soccer. Soccer's run like a business. Youth soccer's run like a business. College soccer's run like a business. The MLS is run like a business. So when we don't make the World Cup and we don't make the Olympics, it's not the players' fault. It's not the coach's fault. It's the infrastructure. Is the priorities, is the people up top, is the federation, is their fault, because we don't prioritize winning. We prioritize making money. We want to sell seats. We want to sell soccer, period. And that's our biggest problem, which is greed. Greed is holding us back. Greed is stopping us from qualifying and making these big tournaments and elevating the game of soccer. And at the end of the day, for someone that loves soccer like me and thousands of people who love this sport and who the last 25 years have been working towards a false promise, I feel like we thought that we were going to be at least able to compete in the World Cup and be in the top 8 by this time. And it's been 25 years. And I feel like, you know, we're lying to ourselves if we keep saying soccer is growing in America, because it's not. It's at an absolute halt. It's going to plateau till we make changes in our youth system and our infrastructure, and we, you know, actually put people in positions to lead who care about elevating the sport of soccer. I see one of the big problems is being the youth clubs. They promise that they're going to develop and, you know, get your kid to the college level, which, first of all, that's the number one problem, us thinking that the college soccer is the highest level that we can play here in America. It's not that it's a good level. I played in that level. It shouldn't be our number one objective to get kids to the college level. It should get them, you know, to get to the pros. And yes, you know, if your kid wants to go and you as a player want to go to college and get your degree, that's 100% totally fine. It's something that can be part of the American culture, but it can't be the number one priority. If we want to be good at soccer, we have to take kids from 18, 19, 20 and develop those kids and give them a system here in America. We don't have to send those kids out. I'm tired. I feel like America has been told the last 25 years this big lie that we have to bring foreigners to teach us the game of soccer, and we don't. Or we have to, you know, send our kids out to Latin America or Europe in order for them to be good. The only reason we have to do that is because we don't have the infrastructure and the rights, you know, resources for them to develop here. So that's why we have to leave the country out of necessity, not because it's the luxury or that's where we want them to be at, you know, that's what we want to do. I believe that the best athletes are here in America. I feel like that we can develop those athletes here in America by Americans, by people who grew up in the system, by people who graduated from the system, by people who were successful in the system. I can't go as an American and try to teach soccer in England or Colombia. It just doesn't make sense. Or, you know, I mean, back to the point that I was trying to make about the big clubs. I think they're one of the problems. They're, if not the biggest problems, because they sell this dream and they don't develop at all. They want to they don't care who they hire. They don't care what they teach. The chances of a coach staying with a team more than 2-3 years are slim to none in the youth system, in the club systems, because the turnaround rate is terrible, because there's no stability. There's no benefit. Nothing that wants to keep a young coach around, because they don't get paid well. The hours are minimal. If minimal, they're terrible. And they're handed every year the same kids, the same terrible kids that you have to teach the same fundamentals to, you know, and nothing wrong with that. I love teaching the fundamentals, but as a coach, you don't get better at all. So the MLS and the federation have to do a better job in funding public schools. I really think that the answer to all our problems is, in the public schools, where the common folk are, where all the kids are. If we were to give access to soccer to everyone at the public level, where if we were to do what Success Academy in New York does, which is have soccer as an elective and implement soccer into the American students' everyday curriculum, where they go to class and have soccer every day, once a day, and then the kids that are good or want to pursue it and see potential in it, they can stay in the after school for soccer club. So I really think if this was copied and pasted all over the 25 cities where there's a soccer team in the MLS, if recruit by districts and have kids grow in elementary and then go to middle school and then go to high school and then give them a better amateur league and then college soccer system, we can develop better talent, and then we can make money by selling this talent to the world, just like the rest of the world does. Instead of charging kids for what? It's a sin to be charging for soccer. It's terrible for the sport of the game. It's a slap in the face for everybody that loves and cares about soccer. I don't see the logic in my child to a club and paying $5,000 for a season for him to be taught soccer by someone who doesn't know the sport more than me. I've seen the people who Red Bull hires. I've worked for Red Bull behind the scenes, and it's just like they'll hire anyone with a pulse. There is some good people. It is one of the better coaching programs, but at the same time, they're in it for the money. They don't care who they hire. They don't care what they do for the sport. There is no infrastructure whatsoever when it comes to soccer in America, and we can't cry about it. We can't be surprised when we don't make these tournaments, when we lose to Honduras or we lose to Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago, and it's just like we have nothing to play for. We have no culture, and people are like, yeah, we have no tradition, we have no culture. Yeah, but how do we build that? And we built that is by giving and birthing and growing these kids and giving them something to play for, whether it's their hometown, their district, their high school, their middle school, and at the end they want to play and stay around and rep the United States, and they want to wear these colors. And yeah, that's how you create a culture. That's how you get people in the stands. That's how you build a cult following, and that's how you elevate the sport, and that's how you uplift these players and give them something to fucking play for. So till we do that, till we stop putting money first, we're not going to get there. And some people may not want to hear this. And, we've said this over the years, but it's time for us to do something. It's time for us to hold people accountable. And, the game doesn't need another club. The game doesn't need another private training program. There's so many of people who I have played the game that they can't go to a big club because the big club doesn't provide stability. So they are forced to on their own and become a salesman and have their own training program and pretty much do the same and sell their private training. And I don't think that's correct. At the end of the day, I'm not going to knock on someone's hustle, and everyone has to eat. But it's sad that the game and the system has gotten to this point where we can't make money off soccer the honest way, where we have to build something, we have to become salesmen, and we have to charge people. And that's not helping the game at all. Till we change this, I don't think we're going to head into the right direction. So I really think we start heading in the right direction by implementing soccer in the public schools, by giving soccer to these kids as an elective. And you can do it with every sport: baseball, football, basketball, and give them the same infrastructure and let these kids choose. But these kids have to play. Even with the club teams, even if your kid plays club, he's only playing 2-3 times a week, 2-3 games a weekend. If, that's not enough. It don't matter who you got at your club being teaching these kids as their coach. They got to play every single day, multiple times a day. The reason why Brazilians and Latin American kids are so much better is because they play every single day in the streets, barefoot. We don't give guidance for our kids, our American kids, to play every day. That's the culture we have to build. That's where it starts, and it all starts from the roots. And we have to eliminate greed. And I know people want to make money off soccer, and I know there's a lot of money in soccer, but tired of soccer being America's side hustle. And it's, that's what it's been. Sadly, it's never been more than a side hustle. And how the infrastructure will work with the public schools has to come from the federation and the MLS clubs. The MLS clubs have to send someone that represents them to these public schools to work as teachers, give them benefits, give them a salary, that way someone who is fresh out of college and wants to stay close to the game, a job like that in the sport is attractive to them because they have stability. And at the end of the day, they're teaching soccer, they're painting the picture, and like, we just have to get all on the same page. Like, for example, LA Galaxy has to get every school, a few districts in the Carson City area, in the South Bay area, to have someone full-time there teach soccer. A few 2-3 teachers teach soccer full-time at the elementary schools, at the middle school, and at the high schools. And it's like a feeding system. It's, as the kids are going to stay together because you're not moving schools that much. There's kids that move, but if your school, elementary school, middle school, high school is providing an elite sports soccer program, you're going to stick around even if you were to move. So that's the best way for us to have an organized way to recruit kids and keep track of kids. Well, that's, our pool is going to be so much bigger if we recruit by district, and so much more organized if we recruit by district. There's 30 teams in the MLS. That's like 25 cities that, this can start, and it has to start right away. And I don't want to hear like, oh, this will never work, or the federation will never, but okay, we can keep giving excuses, and this is just going to make us continue to keep being bad at soccer. And I don't want to, just like we needed a vaccine last year for COVID and we got it this year, that's how fast we need to fix things and reform things for us to head into the right direction, because I want to win a World Cup in my lifetime. It's sad that I have to say that statement. Like, I really thought my generation was going to be the one to win it or get a close run. And the last time we did it was Landon Donovan. Bro, that's damn near fucking 10 years ago. And that just doesn't sit right. And I know it doesn't sit right with people who have played in the league and are playing in the league. And anyone who's played in this American system, it doesn't sit with us right, I'm here to find solution and drive action to fix these problems, to get the right soccer minds and bounce the right ideas, to get on the same page, and for us to steer this big ship of potential in the right way for us to be that powerhouse. I want to talk to people who care about soccer in America. Some people I plan to have are Eric Ronaldo. I want to talk to him just because I admire him. He's a soccer legend, and I think he's done a lot for the game, and I feel like he has a lot to say. Talk to Eddie Johnson. I want to talk to Jermaine Jones. I want to get Landon Donovan, Greg Vanny, Charlie Rugg, Kyle Becker, some boys that I've played with, Carlos Alvarez and his brother Efrain Alvarez. I'm a huge fan of them. I want to talk to a few other BC boys who are not even soccer, who don't even play soccer, but I know they're fans of the sport. And I want to talk to them about how, what they're doing and how, their battle to elevate their sport. So I want to talk to Kazim Adebali, who played, for the Saints, and who played for the Broncos. I want to talk to Luke Kuechly, who's a Super Bowl champion. I want to talk to Kevin Hayes, who, is a New York Rangers legend, BC legend. I want to talk to Sachi Hot, who was actually my roommate, who signed as a homegrown player to the Red Bull and then went on to play in Germany. Now he's coaching in the league, and now he's coaching, at Fordham. So Eric Hurtado, who's a seasoned vet. I want to get Kellen Rowe. I get Darlington Nagby. He's probably the best player I've ever played with. I want to get Jazzy Zardes. I want to talk to Danny Barrera, Pablito Cruz, Jesus Gonzalez, a bunch of guys who are seasoned vets in the USL and who have actually grinded their way up the ladder, and they're still fighting, to get a spot into the MLS. I want to hear their experiences. I want to hear their battles and, what their advice for the next generation would be. So I want to talk to real people, anyone that cares, anyone that's not too good to talk about the American system. And a lot of soccer knowledge that, I'm hoping to record and document just to share and just, again, to elevate the sport of soccer here in America. Peace.